yesterday about New York cutting the violence rate and murder rate to all-time lows. And, there's a consensus within the group that, or some people feel, that we should take a calmer approach with addressing the mayor. And I'm going to just put it out there, Darrell Clark. And that's my buddy, Darrell Clark, a little disclaimer. I have no friend in council longer than Darrell Clark, but it's got to be said. Darrell Clark and the mayor need to fund intervention in violence prevention just as New York does. We put a proposal out there back in June. So if you remember, let me just take a trip back down memory lane. If you remember, David O was stabbed back around June of this year. And when David O was stabbed, it brought a little more attention and light. And that's David O is my man. But David O was stabbed back in June, and City Council went and put a commission together on gun violence or something like that in June. And then the mayor put another commission together to study the $60 million that's spent on violence prevention. Are we spending it effectively? He hired a brother to come oversee, look at that and see if we spending money effectively. We met with them. And if you remember, we called for Peace Month around that same time frame. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm going to tell the truth, tell it like it is. So around that time frame, we had already been talking about hitting the streets and doing more intervention work. And I said, Bilal, listen, either you tell us a site where we're going to start doing this intervention work, or we going out on the street and picking a site on our own. And you got till Friday to tell us where we going. So Bilal calls me back and says, all right, go down 60th and Spruce, take your men down there. So we started in June or July, something like that. I think it was July, going down 60th Street. And in other parts of the city, we took 2 days, Tuesdays and Fridays. And you all remember, we said, we're going to start hitting the street. We're going to start hitting the web. We're going to start hitting the internet. We're going to go out there with jobs. And so we started elevating intervention. We implemented Peace Week, and all groups, all our groups start getting more involved in prevention and intervention. That was in June, July. The murder rate at that time was 20% higher than the year before. Follow me now. Follow me. 20% higher than the year before. In our proposal, we took data that said last year, homicides in the city cost our city $39.2 or 4 or something like that $1 million in just hospitalization fees, right? Just hospitalization. We're not talking legal fees and court fees, law enforcement fees, trauma to families, none of that. Just hospitalization cost us $39 million, point something. Today, the murder rate is 13% higher than this time last year. That's a 7% drop. Now, if you calculate a 7% drop of 39 point something million, that's $2.6 million. So this intervention work, and you could say it might not have been us, but in God we trust. Everybody else bring data. And the data is that in June it was 20%, and today it's 13%. That's a 7% drop. A 7% drop over the summer. So what, people calm down in the summertime? They decided to commit less violence in the summertime? You have to attribute that to the work that people did on the ground, in the street, grassroots people, because they put together commissions, but the commission ain't do a damn thing. They ain't put any more money out there on the street. So you have to attribute that this reduction of from 20% higher than last year to 13% higher than last year to groups on the ground doing intervention. That intervention work, in my estimation, saved the city $2.6 million in just the hospitalization cost that we accrued every year because of gun violence. If you extrapolate that and say, okay, what would it cost in legal fees and law enforcement and court fees? I mean, it's in the millions, right? We put together a $1.4 million proposal, something like that. We gave them a budget back in June and gave them a proposal in November, right? That $1.4 million is less than 2 pennies of the $60 million they already spend with other groups to do violence prevention. So we submitted a proposal for $0.015 of what you already spend with everybody else to keep doing what we're doing. And we're volunteers. This money is to fund 4 resource centers, to use the New York model and put resource centers around the city to go do job research, to put IT involved. So when you go out there talking to brothers, you got information in your hand. Small little pennies, crumbs, right? Crumbs for 58 community leaders and community activists to go out and continue to do the volunteer work, hire a couple people to do some staff, pay for some resource centers. Like, it's crumbs, and yet it's sitting. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I really think they're going to fund this proposal, but what they're going to do is wait till the next budget cycle. Now, we all know that the city can find $1.4 million if they want to find it. We don't have to wait till June, July to put a program that's going to save lives and reduce crime and reduce violence. Wait till June and July to get it started. We don't have to. And some people said, okay, Emmanuel, if you come out like that against the mayor and Darrell Clark, You know how they are. They're gonna pull back. We ain't gonna get nothing. Nix that. Y'all know what I want to say. Nix that bull crap. We ain't getting a darn thing now. And I don't give a damn if they want to play games with city resources because they feelings get hurt, because they pride get hurt. Then we know how to deal with them. We should know how to deal with them come 19. I don't want to hear that crap that because I'm saying this, now you're not going to fund these groups. This ain't goddamn ransom money, and it ain't even their money. This is public dollars that we saying. See, this is why it's so hard to stay calm, right? Because common sense stuff, man. Like, I just don't do bull crap too well. This is basic, I'm not a legislator, right? You don't need me to say the stuff that's already obvious. All right, I'm going to cut it because this video is going on too long. It's 6 minutes. All I'm going to say is share this video with everybody so we can, when we make the call to the mayor and Darrell Clarke and city council to fund grassroots groups on the ground that's doing this work, maybe they'll listen. Thank you, guys. Happy holidays. Let's make some good things happen. God help me, man.